Older redditors, what do young people get completely wrong about past decades? Probably just how often you had to accept that you couldn't find out the answer to something. If you had a question you could ask your family, maybe your friends, maybe your teachers, and your last chance was to check the library. But if the library didn't have the answer, then you just had to accept that you weren't going to get an answer, or you'd have to hope to come across that answer someday in the future. Now you just ask Google and get 10 answers in just seconds. Up until video rental stores in the early 80s, at school the next day every kid was talking about what was on TV the night before, as every single family was watching TV together every single night. With some exceptions, most people watched the same thing as their schoolmates or coworkers, just to be a part of the conversation. How on time you had to be for your favorite shows, because there was little to no chance you'd see that same episode again until they, hopefully, did reruns during summer. I remember waiting anxiously for the nightly news to be over so I could watch my favorite TV shows. Commercial breaks were just mad rushes for the bathroom or to the kitchen to get something quick to drink. That it was incredibly common to just not have pictures of events or other things we see as important now. Not only did we have entire vacations where no pictures were taken, we could go months without a single picture being taken of any member of our family unless it was particularly notable. A trip to St. Louis? No pictures. A trip to Disneyland? Maybe a picture at the entry gate or one of the souvenir pictures of us with a character. A trip to zoo? No pictures. An average day? Forget about it. Frequently, the only pictures taken were at major holidays like Christmas or on someone's birthday. They understand restaurants had smoking sections and that bars and amp clubs were filled with cigarette smoke. But I don't think many understood how pervasive smoking was. There were ashtrays and people smoking literally everywhere. Jury boxes had ashtrays in front of every juror. Judge smoked, lawyer smoked, the gallery smoked. You smoked on planes, trains, buses, taxicabs, and all transportation centers. You smoked at the library, the PTO meetings at schools, the town hall, and all city offices. Hell, you could smoke at the courtyard at my high school as a student. You smoked in the elevator and on the escalator. The mall. Sports venues. Doctors' offices. Hospitals. The movies. The plays, opera, concerts, and every other public performance. A non-smoker would come home often smelling like smoke. One was constantly surrounded by smoke. It was insane. Probably underestimating how few choices there were. Today, it seems like everything imaginable is available in a variety of sizes, delivered to your door overnight. Catalogs and mail order, with 4 to 6 week delivery, malls were the best thing ever. All the stores in one place, and not downtown. How common drinking and amp driving was. Until MAD came along, people did this routinely. It's where one for the road originated. Landline telephones had seriously great audio quality. Better than anything for remote conversation today, in my opinion. I distinctly remember being a teenager and just talking on the phone with someone late into the night, hearing them breathe and sigh, hearing their every little sound. There wasn't the lag and the noise cancelling and the high compression that ruins telephony today. It was a much purer way to feel like you were closer to someone than anything we have today. People say that the 80s were all about consumerism, which is true, but the products were well made and fixable. Towns had repair shops for everything. You just didn't buy a disposable TV. If it broke, you took it in to get fixed. Nowadays, if your TV breaks, it's tossed and you get a new one. Edit, TVs are just one example that I used. Look at many different examples under the comments, e.g. shoes, household appliances, cars, etc. The 80s was not day glow. The 80s was brown and gray with a dash of pastel towards the end. Maybe not everyone's experience, but for me there was casual violence everywhere. Smacking kids was not only tolerated but expected. Hit by parents, friends' parents, random adults in the neighborhood, teachers, etc. Then you'd get beat for making the teacher hit you. What will the neighbors think was real? Travel. Reading paper maps and scanning for roadsides and landmarks to guide you to destinations you have never been to. Half of my younger coworkers couldn't point north if asked without their phones. 9/11. Younger people don't truly understand how the entire nation froze in shock. Security was never the same. For example, traveling via air was never the same afterwards. I missed the days of walking my friends/family to the gate and drop them off. Kids think Y2K was a joke, but the panic was real. People legit thought computers would end us. The 80s was not colorful, it was brown and burnt orange as far as the eye could see. Early 90s was the colorful time. Goths today have no idea how easy they have it. We had to raid our grandma's closet, go to thrift stores and learn to sew and alter, lol. I also don't think people know just how important safety pins were as an accessory. We had at least 5 in every pair of pants. We also pierced ourselves with them. Early mid-90s, I never knew there were piercing shops. At 40, I still have my nose piercing I did with a safety pin in 8th grade. In JR High, I colored my fingernails black with a Sharpie BC black nail polish was not really a thing you could buy. Colored hair dye? Nope, we had Kool-Aid. That all 80s and 90s music was good. There was plenty of crappy music released then like there is now. It's just that the crappy music got buried quickly while the best hits continue to get played today. Journalism has changed. You used to be able to trust in the integrity of the journalist. Now, they're interchangeable, and all we know is the network. It has changed the way we trust the new media, and it's not good. We shouldn't underestimate the danger of this change. They believed that you could support a family on minimum wage. I was working minimum wage in the early 1970s, and it was nowhere near enough to live on my own, much less have a house and a family.